let's see here. We are at number 7. So, number 7 looks sort of like 4, 5, and 6 did, but now I've got some bigger numbers in there. I'm going to start same way. Group my x's together, group my y's together, and make sure the number is on the other side. So I'm going to have 4x squared plus 32x. I'm going to leave a little space, do my 4y squared minus my 24y, leave a little space, and this number's got to move over. So instead of being positive 91, it's going to be negative 91. Now, before I do the completing the square thing on this one, what I'm going to do is divide everything by this front number, because I have to have just a plain x squared. So I'm going to divide everything by 4. Divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. 4x squared divided by 4 just leaves me an x squared then. 32 divided by 4 plus 8x, yeah? 4y squared divided by 4 is just y squared. Negative 24 divided by 4, negative 6y. And on the end, we just have to leave that weird looking fraction. If you could simplify it, you would, but that one you can't reduce. We'll use our calculator anyway. Now we have to do the completing the square thing. Now that we have just the plain x squared and not a 4 in front of it. So if we complete the square on there,
we're going to factor x.
before we can factor, we have to put that in number.
8.
So half of 8 is 4, and 4 squared,
2.
4 squared. All right, so we've rewritten number 8, 2x squared minus 16x plus 2y squared minus 8y, and move the minus 32 over. Then you said we've got to divide everything by the 2 that's in front of the x squared. So if we go ahead and divide everything by 2, we are going to get
X squared minus 8.
8x
8x. Y squared minus 4.
4y equals, and that one we can divide,
8. Negative 8.
whoops,
Oops.
negative 32 divided by 2,
Oh, negative 32 divided by 2. Negative 16.
negative 16. And we won't have that ugly fraction to mess with. Okay, now we can do our completing the square.
So we do half of negative 8x. Half of negative 8. Negative 8 equals negative 4 squared, which equals negative 16.
Not negative 16,
It's positive.
positive 16, because a negative times a negative is a positive. That should always be positive when you square that.
Okay.
So we're going to add 16 and add 16. Okay, we did our x's.
16.
Now we got to do our y's.
Okay, so it's going to be y. Oh,
Half of negative 4
half of negative 4, which equals negative 2 squared, which is going to equal negative, or positive 4.
positive 4. So plus 4 plus 4. Now we can go to our factoring.
X minus 4.
X minus 4 and x minus 4, which is x minus 4 squared. And then our y's.
Y minus 2.
Minus 2, exactly. So y minus 2 squared is going to equal
4.
4. So our center is going to be at,
The center is going to be minus 4.
oops,
Oh, positive 4.
positive 4,
Yeah, positive 4. And 2.
positive 2, and my radius,
The radius is going to be. Oh, I did that. 4.
not 4, but
Oh, negative 4.
no.
Oh, wow.
What do we do with this number?
Oh, 2.
It's going to be 2 because we have to do the square root
Yeah,
of
square
4,
root.
which is 2. So center's at 4, 2. Over 4, up 2 is going to be our middle dot. Our radius is 2, so if I move 2 to the right, I'm going to open my circle 2 spaces all the way around that and draw my circle. All right, one more of those. Number 9. Sure do with number 9.
Okay. So we're going to go 2x
2x squared
squared minus 18.
minus 18x
18x plus 2y squared plus 12y. Which is going to equal
equals negative 101 over 2. Yep, lovely as that is. Now, what do we have to do?
we are going to divide it by 2.
Divide it by 2, exactly. So we are going to get
And then get x squared minus 16.
whoops,
Oh, 9 minus 9.
9x
9x plus y squared plus 14.
Whoops.
What?
What are you doing with that?
6. Oh, I'm doing
6y equals.
6y equals.
Now another part you probably want to use your calculator because you have to take negative 101 halves divided by 2, right?
Negative 25.5. Is that right? No?
Change it to a fraction for me.
Okay, well, let me see. That's
Shift in the fraction.
that decimal. What's the fraction at?
The ABC button.
Is it? Oh, shift.
Shift in the fraction.
Oh, negative
Negative 51
51
over 2. That sounds right, yes.
51 over 2.
Okay. Now, what do we have to do?
Now we have to go. I didn't get half a 9.
You are, it's going to be a fraction. So I'm going to have to do half of negative 9. What is half of negative 9?
$4.5.
As a fraction. Because we know they like us to do fractions.
9 seconds.
So negative 9 halves, and then we have to square that, right?
Where
So if I take negative 9 halves and I square it,
have to put in parentheses?
Yes, you would, because otherwise you'll get the wrong sign.
Okay, now I got another fraction. Did I do it wrong?
Nope.
Okay, 81/4.
Exactly, 81/4. 81/4. So we're going to add 81/4 here and add 81/4 here. See, they always got to throw in these harder things, these fractions, because everybody gets scared of fractions. Now the next one will turn out a little nicer because we can do half of 6, right?
Yeah.
So half of 6 is 3, and then 3 squared would be 9, right? All right. So now you figured out the little trick. So when you factor this, how is that going to factor?
Factor x minus -9, minus 9.
9 over 2, right? That's that thing that we squared. If I take a -9/2 times a -9/2, I get that 81/4, right? Because 9 times 9 is 81 and 2 times 2 is 4. So we're going to have x minus 9/2 squared. On the other one with our y's.
So it's going to be 1 plus 6.
Not plus
Oh,
6,
3.
plus 3. 3 times 3 is 9, right? So y plus 3 squared equals, over on the other side, we've got to take -51/2 plus 81/4 plus 9.
(15/4), right? Did I do that wrong?
If you did that wrong, then we did something else wrong, because 15 is not going to work out right. Where did I hide my calculator? All that work and there's probably a typo, huh? 15/4. 15/4 is not going to work out right. Let me check that other one. We had -101 divided by, or over 2 divided by 2, which was negative. Oh, okay. This is what we have wrong here. I think you just read the mixed number and didn't change it to your improper fraction. Let's go do that again. -101/2 divided by 2.
I think I did that.
You got -25 1/4, but you didn't change it into an improper fraction. You just said it was or let's change it into an improper fraction. You should get -101/4. And you had -51/2. You must have times 2 instead of divided by 2.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
-1/4.
So that's what we should have had there. That was our mistake. Now let's see if it adds and subtracts to something nice. So -101/4 plus 81/4 plus 9 gives me 4. Now it comes out to something nice. The reason I knew that it couldn't be 15/4 is because we have to do the square root and you can't do the square root of 15. So your numbers always have to be numbers that were perfect squares because we have to do the square root of that end number. So then I knew there had to be a mistake somewhere. We had to go back and fix it. We did. So now we can pick out our center. Our center is going to be at
center. So am I gonna do that negative 9 square?
Only it's going to be just,
81.
no.
Oh, negative
How'd you pick out your center?
9 square.
You don't have to do anything. Just look at your point. What's your center going to be?
Oh, my center is going to be 9 over 2.
9 over 2 and
Over 2 and minus 3.
minus 3. But in order to plot 9 over 2, we have to change that to a mixed number. So what is 9 over 2 as a mixed number?
=81/4. No?
No, as a mixed number.
Mixed number.
You squared it.
Oh,
You want just to change 9 over 2 into a mixed number. How did we do that?
4.5.
4.5. So we're going to go 4.5, negative 3 for our point. Our radius is going to be,
Radius is going to be 13.
no,
Oh, where did I see 13 at? That's supposed to be a plus. 4.
the radius is the square root of 4,
That's 2.
which is 2. So, here again, you could use the plot point tool if you wanted to on the computer because it might be easier to do that one. But 4.5, so I go 4.5 and then minus 3. 1, 2, 3. So I end up halfway between, if my pen would put it halfway between. And then my radius is 2, so when I move over 2 again, I end up halfway between that box. Halfway between the 6 and the 7. Oops, I went too far. There we go. And then once you move over your 2, the computer will draw the circle so that it looks like a circle instead of my scribbling that doesn't quite look like a circle. So that'll be the trickiest ones where you've got all those crazy fractions to have to deal with. But they should all end up coming out to either a whole number or a half because then you can plot it because the halves are marked.